Hello and welcome to Statistics for Psychology, the class you've been most anxious to take, I'm sure. A little bit of laughter out there. Okay, so I know most of you have probably encountered me in a class in some way, form, or another, so you are old hat at this. You're my seniors, most likely, taking statistics. Now, statistics is part of a sequence of courses, fall, spring, statistics, research methods, for many of you, the last 2 semesters of your journey here at KVCC. So welcome to this exciting part of the world of psychology. Now, as with all the classes in my program at KVCC, this is formatted exactly the same way. We are in Brightspace. There's very little that is actually in Brightspace. So let's take a look at Brightspace to see where things are at. So here we have, of course, the entry page, and under content, you're going to know there's only 2 links, right? Overview and syllabus and course timeline. So under the overview of the syllabus, of course, we have specifics about the class, and then we add the links to the all-important course book. So just like the other classes that you've taken in this program, all the content is contained in the course book. The course book has descriptions of my lecture. It has videos, screenshots of Excel, which is going to be the tool we're going to be using to do all of our specific tests that we're going to be doing. And then, of course, the assignments are described. The quizzes and the discussions and the assignments are all described in that course book. So you can get that as a free PDF. You can order it on Apple Books for your Apple device. You can order it for print directly on Amazon. I've also submitted these to be purchased by the bookstore, so they should be in the bookstore soon. They order from Amazon too, so there's a little bit of delay. I don't want to put down our bookstore, but if you have a device, I would get the Apple version. Very cool. Also, the Amazon ones, the price of these is really fixed by Amazon. Even though I'm a publisher and stuff like that, when I publish these, they go in and they tell me the minimum I can charge, and then I just go, put a little 10% for me or something like that in there. So it's they're quite expensive, just because they print these on demand. So when you submit an order, the prints, they start printing them. And so, but I like the print versions. I order a copy for myself for all of them every year. They kind of look cool on my shelf. They're pretty cool. And but it's your choice as to which format to use. They all work the same. They all contain the same information. And on the PDF, you can still click the links. On the print form, you can scan the QR codes, and of course, in the Apple Books, one of the videos play right in the document, just like Harry Potter. So here we have, in this section here, the overview of the syllabus. We have the link to the actual course books, and then down here, the syllabus. Now, when we go over to the course timeline, just like in the other classes, here we have the content here in week 2 is chapter 1. We have a discussion and an assignment. You click on here to go to the discussion, click on here to go to the assignment. Pretty straightforward. Now, for this week, we're introduction to statistics and what it means. And in the discussion, I'm having you look at the news. Now, I update these course books once a year, and I saw that, I have a couple dated articles right there from mid-pandemic. Might be time to replace that with some examples or anything like that. So I'm going to challenge this class to actually go out there, find me some news articles to replace the ones that are in there. Now you can use those, just like I have it examined, just like I've done in the course book. However, if you can go out and find some good meaty articles about things that are going on right now that use statistics submit those to the discussion, and I'll probably play around with those to replace these articles for the next edition of this course. So feel free to break out of my structure to do that. It would be fun to have you go out and look at different articles and bring those in. They have to be, high-end news articles that are using statistics. And of course, the discussion is, how does statistics and using numbers strengthen the message, or does it? So we are a civilization that really enjoys numbers. Like, show me the money, show me the stats on this, give me the data. We have a mindset that says, I'm not going to believe this till I see the data. And of course, we have, sort of a disparaging mistrust of science going on, where people are not trusting, pretty reliable sources of data, and there's mixed information coming in about data. We need to depart from that and look at science and statistics for what it's worth. We're going to learn in this class not only the incredible power that statistics gives us, but the incredible responsibility and how some people abuse that responsibility. There's no doubt that people can convey statistics to tell a lie. There's no doubt that can be done, and with legitimate statistics. Kind of depends on the tools that you're choosing, how much information about your sampling that you put out there. We have some examples of that throughout the course book, and we'll be examining how to use statistics in the right way so it gives us good information, data, to make good decisions. The primary goal of this. I use data, I use statistics to make decisions. In this case, decisions about the results of my study, decisions about what's going on in the world based on the sources of information and how that data was collected and the statistical tools that they chose to analyze it. It's raising the bar. I know after this class, you're going to be watching the news and you'll see a statistic be a little startling. Sometimes they are. But I want you to be able to go, well, how did they sample people for that? Was there bias in the sampling? How did they pose the question who funded this research? All these things, all these questions that you should be asking, not so that you reject it all, but you ask good formative questions before you throw yourself in to agreeing with those statistics. Good, healthy, critical thinking questions. Kind of the big topic of this. So, that said, the discussion, find an article, use the articles that I gave you to examine how the media, how the news uses statistics to convey a message. Because that's where everybody encounters statistics. The assignment is a little bit of a preview of what we're going to be doing in this class. All the assignments in this class are going to be done in Excel. You have access to Excel through KVCC for free. They call it Microsoft 365. You can sign up for that. You can download all the apps, and you can do all of this with your free tools of Excel. Now, because we're uploading Excel documents to Brightspace, I actually want you to not convert it into a PDF. You're going to be uploading Excel documents to Brightspace, and in the interface, if you upload a Word file and I click on it, it converts it and I can view that file. If I click on an Excel file, it converts it into a PDF and it's unreadable. It's not even doable. So you're going to be putting the original file up there with your assignment, and I'm going to be downloading them all. So I absolutely need you to follow the file naming convention for this class. So basically your last name, first initial, hyphen, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, whatever, dash, and then assignment, or assignment A, assignment B. That's it, keeping that. And you should keep those files and organize them so you have a whole bunch of files, that have your last name, first initial, chapter, assignment, last name, first initial, chapter, assignment. Keep a record of all those. You'll be submitting those files using that file naming convention. That convention organizes the files by name, and it doesn't run into any problems with the sort of uploading name conventions that are built within Brightspace. So you don't have a problem with that. Now, this initial assignment is going to have you do all the little pieces that I want you to be able to do with Excel throughout the class. So first off, when you open up Excel, it gives you a worksheet. There's a tab at the bottom so you can have multiple worksheets. Okay? And so you can actually create another set of those cells in the same document and have worksheets tabbed on the bottom. The first tab should be a title page in Excel, where you create a text box, and in that text box you write a title page. You create a new worksheet right next to it, and that's where you put your data. And then when you use the plugin that you're going to be using, you can either select the cells where that's going to go, or as I do, I have it create a new worksheet. So I'll do my statistics and it puts the data on a new worksheet. Here's the thing, those tabs on the bottom, you can drag them around and order them. So when you're doing this first assignment, the first tab should be your title page. The second tab is going to be the data that I give you in the course book. The third tab is going to be the results from the plugin. I'm asking you to use both a tool, the actual formulas based in Excel, and the plugin to solve the average of a set of data. So in the course book, you actually have that data. Let me go to the course book here, and I'll show you this data. Be more specific. Here's our Excel. You're going to install Excel, install the Real Statistics plugin. You're going to enter a title and data into a column Excel. You're going to perform a function within Excel, and you're going to do descriptive statistics using the plugin. So in column 1, this is after the title page. Put grades at the top and enter this data. Use the functions within Excel to compute the average grades. I talk about that in the text above. Then you access the Real Statistics plugin and you have it describe descriptive statistics. That'll give you a lot more than just the average. Save it. This is all explained. This whole assignment is explained in the Excel and Statistics tutorial at the end of the course book, in the appendix. Save the Excel file. There's the naming conventions. And so you're doing a very simple descriptive statistic. In this case, it's getting to know how to use Excel in this way. So you can create that title page, you can create the data page, and you can create the statistical results page. And by the way, if you double click on those tabs in the bottom, you can change the name. So you can even put title page, data, statistics. You can name them. Organize this stuff so you can find and you can navigate this thing. Excel is actually quite a remarkable tool. It does just about every kind of statistical test that there is. The plugin that I'm having you use is a free plugin developed by an absolute genius statistician that just makes it easier to input your data. And so it's getting to know that plugin. Also, I want to tell you that if you ever run into trouble with that plugin, go back to that website and you go to the section and you can actually post a comment. He responds in the same day. This is what he does for a living, apparently, because he is always there. I had a question about the plugin a couple years ago, and I posted there thinking, this guy's going to, he'll get back to me maybe. The next day, he gave me a personal response to the question of, hey, Mark, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. And he's just in this kind of like a thread discussion board that he keeps on there. Very, very amazing guy. In fact, if you look among those threads, there's people talking about stuff I don't even understand. Just that they're doing pretty advanced statistics using this plugin. So only 2 things to do this week, and that is first, participate in that discussion where we look at the value of numbers and statistics in terms of how they influence news and how we interpret data. And then secondly, getting to know Excel, creating that title page, data page, and then statistics page. Now, just as a note, because it popped into my head, when you're doing, you have to do 2 statistical tasks. One is using the formulas tool within Excel. The other one is using the plugin. The formula one, is like it says, you place your cursor in one of the cells. You click on one of the cells, and then you start with equals, start writing average, and then you follow the instructions to select that data. That statistic can appear on the same page as your data. So you have your data right here, and then you can pick any cell, and then make sure you label it, though, because it'll just be a number that exists in the cell. You want to go to the adjacent cell and write average. So, just as clear what that number is. When you use the plugin, have it create a new worksheet, which is one of those pages that's long. And then it's actually going to create it before. It's actually going to move it before, so you need to drag it and put it after. Remember that dragging ability. Go in, play around with it. Having any trouble with it, we can Zoom. We can talk about that. The point is to get you comfortable with using Excel and how I want you to use Excel for the rest of the course with this first assignment that's there. As with all the online classes, the class begins on Monday. Due dates are all on Sunday. You follow the sequence within the course timeline. Everything is there, and of course the links are right in the timeline. Please reach out if you have any questions. This is a tough course to teach online. It is. It's tough for me, and I know it's tough for you. I will also offer that on Thursdays, let me make sure I get the right time here. On Thursdays at 1:30 in April 207, I'm teaching this class face-to-face. Now, of course, you didn't pick the face-to-face class to do. You picked the online one. But if you're around, stop in. We're doing the exact same things week to week that you're doing on the online class. You don't have to tell me ahead of time. You don't have, none of that. Do tell me when you get there. Say hi to you and put a name to a face. But you're free to come to that class. You're not restricted from doing that and enjoying the advantage of working through some of these problems face to face with me. It's a hybrid class, and we only meet for an hour and a half. We're going to be primarily focusing on a very short question and answer type lecture, and then doing the assignments in class. So this is a good opportunity if you're stuck, and if it fits within your schedule. That would work even better than scheduling a time for me, because I'm already scheduling this time. So feel free to reach out about that. Reach out to me about any questions. Go into the discussions and post course questions in the course questions there. Introduce yourselves to each other. Although I think a lot of you already know each other from previous classes. Introduce yourself in the course lounge. And off we launch into this class. Exciting part of the journey in psychology. You will also notice that there's a part of this class where you are preparing for research methods. I want you to read that section. I'm going to be posting probably a pretty extensive video on what my expectations are on that. And that's something I would urge you to get started on right away, even though it's not due till later. Get started on looking around to finding an article that you want to replicate. I'd like to get that really solidified even more than I've done in the past, so that we can enter into the spring semester of research methods running on the ground, and we'll be able to implement our data and data collection early in the semester and have the time to work through the details later in the semester rather than all at the end. Okay, so that's it for this week. Again, like with most of my online classes, I'll be posting a video something like this, not as long. but about what's the expectations of the week are. You have access to that in the course timeline. But please watch these videos because I introduce new things or new ideas, or maybe I want to change something at the last minute and stuff like that. Doesn't happen often, but it does. And so have a great week. Enjoy coming back to school and this wonderful application of math to statistics. So take care.